Hello, can you guys hear me?
Hey, Adam, what's good?
Is that Josh?
The one and only.
What's good? How's it going, guys? Looks like we have a lot of people already joining. Thanks everyone for having a listen. Do we have a Plume on board?
Hey, I'm here. Jason, just sitting here.
What's up, Jason? How's it going?
Good, man. Busy day. How about yourself?
Dude, it's a busy day every day over here. The kicking off the new year and trying to line things up with this bull run's been exciting and crazy, and yeah, it's
Yeah,
always
exactly.
hectic.
Never a break for us.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Thanks so much for having us on. I really appreciate it. I'm Adam Conover here, CCO of Pinlink. For anybody who's listening in.
I just wanted to give a quick reminder too, as well, guys, right before we get started here. Going to be an absolute phenomenal space here with Pinlink and, of course, Plume Network, just talking about the future of tokenization, RWAs, fractionalization, on a lot of some of the exciting upcoming events they have planned out. But I just want to do a quick reminder, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like button, repost this live stream, share it with a friend. This is perhaps going to be one of the biggest, if not more bullish, RWA spaces of 2025. So I'm excited to be here, guys. Jason, take it away, man. Excited to meet you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it. Real alpha going to be dropped here. Let's not spill too much ahead of time, but it's good to meet everybody listening in. I'm head of BD here at Plume Network. I guess maybe some introduction of our backgrounds real quick before we kick it off. As mentioned, I used to work at Layer Zero in the interop space, did a lot of work on the enterprise capital market side, so saw a lot of the permissioned tokenization and permission bridging aspects, and then formerly was at Nansen AI on the institutional sales side as well. So love to get an introduction from you guys over at Pinlink, and Josh, take it away.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm Adam Conover here, CCO at Pinlink. I've been in I guess like agency marketing and business development for the last 10 years. Got into crypto in the last bull run, and then really started applying my I guess my skill set in the last year within the crypto space. And I've been working at Pinlink for about 2 months now, and helping them, supporting them with partnerships, everything from events to to user acquisition. So really excited to be part of the team, and yeah, thanks for having us on the spaces.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess let's kick things off. So let's zoom out a little bit and look at the upcoming year of 2025. So I think we hear a lot of the narrative side and the words RWA and DPIN thrown around it, and both seem to be the hottest narrative coming into the year. Just kind of curious if you want to kick it off, maybe Josh, what is kind of your overview on RWA and DPIN as like an expert in this space, and maybe chat about why it's like a big narrative this run so far, what you see the development looking like for 2025 and the current bull run, and then maybe even 10 years from now if we're zooming out really far.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you guys for having me on here with you guys today. So, RWA and tokenization as a whole, we'll start there because I believe, even though we see a lot of combination between DPIN, RWAs, and everything, I kind of want to start about talking just where we're moving as a traditional financial sector into 2025. And that begins with bringing all of your real world assets on chain. So, the next financial revolution, which we have already entered, is replacing our old TradFi systems and our old traditional systems that are costly, outdated, only operate 9 to 5, not even every single day of the year. Cross border remittance systems and everything are incredibly insufficient. Again, super costly, bad for the environment. And then on top of that, you have tons of real world assets that you have no utility to other than going through an insurance company or a brokerage or a bank to get loans and tack on all these massive interest rates and just hurt individual credit scores to take advantage and waste billions and what is actually tens of trillions of dollars annually. There is tens of trillions of dollars in inaccessible money that is not available because it is just an old broken systems that you can't access. They're not, tokenizable. They're not liquid. And real world assets are changing that entire narrative in game. So with 2025 approaching us here, guys, we are now dealing with Donald Trump's new administration coming in, which is not just a breath of fresh air, but it's going to be not deregulating our markets. It's going to
It's
be
insane.
reforming our markets. Our
Yeah,
markets.
we have a nice pathway ahead here, don't we?
What's that?
We have a nice pathway ahead here for the
Oh, dude,
next
so
few
nice,
years.
man. It's insane to even think about people being bearish right now. It's like we get like a 2% pullback on Bitcoin's price. We're sitting at 94K and everybody's screaming and running for the hills. And it's like, dude, we're just getting started at these levels. Like the new Secretary of Commerce is going to be spacing on his name right now, Cantor Fitzgerald. It's Howard Lutnick, who is someone that's not only a huge advocate of Bitcoin, but a huge advocate of USDT, Tether, and these tokenized treasury companies that are purchasing more US treasuries than entire countries the size of Germany. So we are going to be rolling over all this TradFi on chain, and real world assets are going to be at the forefront of that. Networks like Plume Network or Pinlink, adding more utility onto these companies is going to be that much more beneficial to these new ecosystems. So anybody that's brand new listening in, if you guys don't know what a real world asset is, think of a house, a car, a loan. Like it could be anything that you're paying money for in real life and is physical is going to be now on chain, is going to open up a ton of new opportunity. My favorite example here is going to be simply stocks. Right now, if you're somebody that is looking to buy Tesla or Apple, you can go buy a Tesla Apple stock, or you can go buy a Tesla stock or an Apple stock. That's about it. You're going through a third-party application. You're paying usually fees that are sometimes out the ass, or you're going through a brokerage firm to manage those funds for you. But that's all you can do with that. There is not much utility past, maybe if you guys are really smart, you're borrowing against that in TradFi systems, which again are already broken. Tokenizing these systems and bringing these real world assets on chain are going to open up these stocks, these assets, whether it's, again, your car, it's your home, it's real estate. And you're going to be able to use those tokens and borrow and lend against them in whole new applications and DeFi protocols. And banks are obsessed with this idea. I have had the opportunity to meet not only with the government of, multiple government officials from the UAE, but as well as the Donald Trump administration. And everybody is excited about this forefront because there's so many people that are calling the boy who cried wolf. Markets are going to crash. Like, we can't keep kicking this can further down the road. The feds have to print more money. The feds are going to do two things. One, they're going to print more money, but they're going to adopt these new systems that are tokenizing all your real world assets in the first place much quicker because it unlocks trillions of dollars in new accessible capital. And so, kind of the beginning the conversation off with that. That is why I believe 2025 is truly heating up in the RWA and DePIN space.
100%.
Uh,
100%.
and it's leading
Absolutely.
the narrative, man.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And to echo on that, right? It's not if tokenization is happening or is RWAs and DePINs happening. It's happening now, right? It's happening. It's happened since last year when BlackRock and Larry Fink started shilling
yep.
this everywhere, and then everyone started picking up on it. When we talk to our institutional partners in North America, in APAC, in Europe, and as you said, everyone's looking to pile in, and everyone's looking to really embrace this new paradigm. And I've always said it's not TradFi versus DeFi, right? It's really much the new paradigm of digitalization in finance against all of legacy TradFi. And what I really wanted to echo was that sentiment of accessibility, right? I think in terms of what are RWAs, and when we look at different asset classes, like you mentioned, with real estate or with debt, or even traditional securities like equities, but even the more niche types of assets or alternative assets, JP Morgan puts out a great report on this every quarter regarding private credit or any kind of like debt pool products or these kind of microfinancing. These are all opportunities that are usually very priced out or gated, and it is like a source of alpha that was never accessible before. And when I think about what digitalization can unlock through blockchain specifically, right, we see good examples in crypto today where perpetual swaps, instruments that were invented decades and decades ago that never took off because TradFi was just not ready to process or handle those types of transactions and that type of settlement. And even with examples like basis trade today on chain, which was a concept that's not new in TradFi, but was never able to reach the scale and the scope and the type of yields that you could get because of on-chain. So all of those are ingredients that make me very, very excited in terms of what we can cook up on the RWA front, and especially with Pinlinkers. So I guess on the
Yeah,
segue
yeah.
of that, oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I think just to jump in there, just to reiterate what Josh was saying and what you're saying, like Pinlink is kind of brings the accessibility to the deep in space in general, to be a bit more focused there. It's taking GPUs that cost people thousands of dollars to own and operate in because we can tokenize and fractionalize that through RWA technology. It just makes it so much easier for global markets to access. And yeah, it's wild. I think this is really the first bull run that it's truly been picking up and taking off. And I feel like with Plume on board, I mean, I love what you guys are building over there. You're setting up your vaults, your deep in vaults, like we'll talk about in a bit, and in just making it so easy for people to actually earn that passive income through RWA and deep in and things like that. It's just so much more accessible. I remember back in the day, I was setting up my my Helium device on my porch, and spending thousands of dollars to get that set up, to get connected to network and all those things. It's a huge upfront cost and a lot of work that you need to actually get under the hood of the ecosystem and to learn all about it. And today it's so much easier through Plume, through Pinlink, to actually be able to gain access to the revenue that these devices generate without ever having to actually own one. So yeah, really exciting where the space is headed.
Yeah, 100%. And we're super excited because, back then I talked a little bit about off-chain securities, but what we really think is the new paradigm that we want to work with Pinlink on is the idea of on-chain native assets, right? These on-chain native primitives that are yield generating that can come from a lot of these new coming DePIN networks, and a few glimpses of what we've seen, especially in the intersection of AI and crypto and everything under that umbrella, right? With like AI
Yep.
fi into GPU fi, and all of that can be captured through sort of the Pinlink platform as well. I guess on that front, on the DePIN side, um, uh, would you care to share about your journey and how you got started? And like, with DeepIn, it's like certainly still a bit of a wild west. But what do you kind of see the evolution of that, and where's the opportunity at in DeepIn specifically?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me personally, like I said before, it's kind of, I've kind of entered in with Helium back in the day and kind of got my head around it. Then I've just heard about it floating around in the space for years now, and I've never like really gone invested fully into it or you fully investigated it. And Pinlink is really my first big entry into DeepIn, and it's completely opened my mind into into this world and the potential there, and like you're saying, all the revenue that it kind of can unlock. And I think what Josh was saying earlier, we're unlocking through RWA billions, if not trillions of dollars of potential revenue for all these idle assets. Pinlink, is kind of another layer to drive incremental revenue from those assets by tokenizing the actual revenue those assets, drive, or even the compute that they generate for things like GPUs. So we're really extracting even more incremental revenue in this space. So yeah, I've just kind of been blown away by what Pinlink is building, and what Lukas Orwalski, who's been in cloud computing and things like that for the last 10 years. He's won MIT awards, and he's kind of leading the ship here at Pinlink as our chief architect. So yeah, it's really cool to have a team around me that's inspiring me and teaching me every day about this new space and all the potential it has.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think on that front, I want to take some time to dive into, really highlighting for the audience what Pinlink, or what audience specifically is Pinlink providing solutions for. Maybe we can go
Yeah.
over what the network, like, all the participants and how they all benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's good that we kind of had the intro with RWA to provide some context. But what we're really simply doing is we're applying RWA technology like tokenization and fractionalization to the DePIN physical assets. So you could take something like a GPU. Currently, it's sitting on your desk. You could use it for your own AI computing tasks, or you can do things like plug it into networks like Aether or Render, and let other people utilize your idle compute and earn revenue that way. So Pinlink actually takes it a step further and allows you to tokenize the revenue that you're making passively from things like Aether or Render, or even you can plug your own GPU into Pinlink and provide compute and earn revenue. But first and foremost, you can tokenize that revenue and fractionalize it. So let's pretend I'm making $1,000 a month through Pinlink, providing compute to AI developers. I can fractionalize 50% of that revenue and then sell it at an upfront cost to other passive income seekers that want access to my GPU revenue without having to spend all of this money, thousands of dollars, to buy their own GPU. They have access to this revenue, and I get an immediate injection of upfront capital that I can use to invest in other devices, expand my operation. I could use it to pay off the existing GPU that I own, or I could even invest it in other DeFi activities like lending and borrowing and compound that new money that I've just made. So we really provide more flexibility and capital efficiency for GPU asset owners first and foremost. So that's kind of a huge thing. Like, because you can finally tokenize your physical GPU through Pinlink, you can actually do things like put it on use it as collateral on a lending market. So I could use something like Maple, borrow against my GPU while I'm still earning on that GPU, and buy other GPUs. So it really opens up to all these other new DeFi opportunities that you would have never had before through Pinlink, which is really exciting. So I guess the first audience is the physical asset owner extracting all this new revenue by owning the asset itself. Then you have the passive income seekers. So these are the people that are looking for yield, similar to people that would be coming to Plume, and they're looking to earn with DPIN or RWAs, the vehicle. So they can come to Pinlink. They can get exposure by buying tokenized versions of these DPIN assets, and they can buy fractions of a GPU, for example, and earn a portion of the earnings that the GPU generates through our platform. So that's just, I guess, like, we're making it so much easier for the passive income seeker to gain exposure to RWA and DPIN without ever having to own a physical, spend all that upfront capital and setup for their own devices. And I guess the last audience that's really benefiting here is the AI business developers, and these guys can access cheap and flexible compute from the Pinlink platform. Because users can plug their GPUs into our platform, we're utilizing decentralized compute, and it's really easy to access that from the Pinlink platform. And they can also, we have this rebate fund that is generated through all these little microtransactions within our marketplace that we'll be launching. And this all leads to this to build up our rebate fund, which will be used to further offset the costs for AI developers. So we'll be deploying this rebate fund to our AI business developers and power users to be able to make the cost of compute even cheaper. So as our platform grows, this rebate fund grows, the cost of AI developing goes down, and you can kind of see the really cool flow on effect of that. It really solves this AI scalability issue that a lot of big companies are facing right now. So those are kind of the three target audiences we're hitting.
Yeah, no, that's incredible to hear and super exciting, sort of the unlock for these audiences, right? And I think you touched on a few names there, but really what I'm excited about is this is really the cusp of a new on-chain economy, right? One where traditionally yields, especially in DeFi, are largely speculation driven. And Vitalik even tweeted himself that like it comes to be quite of an Ouroboros in a sense, but through the use of these new primitives and through DePIN, where there's ideally in 2025 where we see real adoption that can drive a lot of meaningful revenue and back to these users. And then the further financialization in our ecosystem. I know you mentioned a few partners like with Aether and other ones like Gaib that can provide these GPUs and the fractionalization and the distribution of it through Pinlink. And then other core partners of ours like MetaStreet that are providing lending against these new primitives and
Yep.
that can really give life to this new on-chain economy that's built off like real yield in a sense, right? And I guess on that scope and the whole economic scope, I'm curious what or how big do you think could the potential market be here? Like how far do you see this scaling out, and where does like the pin token from Pinlink fit into all this?
Yeah, I mean, Pinlink or just DPIN and RWA. There's reports that are showing it can be these two markets can be in the tens of trillions, in the next 10 years, which is incredible. And Pinlink is really I guess, where the intersection of AI, DPIN, and RWA. You kind of have all the buzzwords in that, but we're really pulling all of these together in our platform, which is really exciting. So when you invest in Pinlink, first and foremost, you're investing in all three of these categories. And in terms of the pin token, I mean, we have really big plans for this, because at the moment you have all of these different DPIN ecosystems that are kind of segmented. You have your own tokens, you have your own hardware, you have all these different things to kind of gain access to these ecosystems. What Pinlink does is kind of aggregates all of these together under one platform. So because you can tokenize, integrate, and fractionalize these on our platform, it makes it super easy for all of these platforms to integrate, and you users can access all of this from one location without having to enter into all these different ecosystems, because they can access all of the assets from our tokenized and fractionalized marketplace. So the crazy thing about this is what we see pin is as really I guess the currency of dpin itself, because you can use pin to buy, rent, trade all these assets within our ecosystem and have access to all of these different ecosystems consolidated into one place. It's really, like, I guess, the most fluid way to use a currency to gain access to everything from one place. So that's kind of the big vision that we have here, and we're really excited to kind of be at the forefront of this narrative with Plume as well. We have some big ideas with you guys, and really excited to partner on kind of expanding things further.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think for
absolutely.
the audience, I wanted to touch on that really quick too, just to kind of simplify, because a lot of this is very complex from the back end systems, which is actually a really beautiful thing about it. But for anybody that's just brand new to crypto and these markets in general, this is a $100 trillion plus industry. I mean, you have to look at the almost $60 trillion stock market alone. Like, again, that's going to be tokenized. The tokenization industry is only going to grow exponentially by 2030. It's less than $1 trillion today. It's actually less than, I think, honestly, $50 billion today. And the upside to this is well over 100x. I mean, your 100 largest banks are all going to be switching to this system. You can kind of think of it as it's Wall Street 2.0. This is fractional banking 2.0, but on a mass scale. And there's three things that are really benefiting from this. Is tokenized. Everything is going to be tokenizing. So I don't like to say tokenization is just a simple sector, because if you're an AI project and you're not tokenizing, using tokenization, you're going to get wrecked. If you're a TradFi company, you're going to get wrecked if you're not tokenizing. If you're a real estate company, you're going to get wrecked if you're not tokenizing. And so every single sector, RWAs, DPIN, AI, they're all going to be tokenizing all these systems, which rely on physical infrastructure, and decentralizing that at scale, like you said, Adam, is multitudes of trillions of dollars in terms of opportunity that exists within that sector. And I'm very curious at the end
100%.
of this, I'll get your thoughts on it, because I know we got a lot to break down. But a lot of people may have just seen the supercomputer that just came out from the CES conference with NVIDIA. The expansion of AI is just getting started, and I don't think people understand and can even fathom the amount of energy capacity that's going to be needed to produce a lot of these advancements in AI agents and in these DePIN sectors, in these RWA sectors. And being someone that can fractionalize all that, tokenize that in one place, and provide more utility to all these companies, whether they're banks, traditional companies, real estate companies, et cetera, it's a really good position to be in. So that's kind of
Yeah.
the magnitude we're dealing with here.
Yeah, I mean, some of those devices cost, hundreds of thousands of dollars for the most high-end compute. We've been talking to Pinlink's been chatting with a few different projects that have access to, some of NVIDIA's, high-powered GPUs that haven't even launched yet. And it's, for the everyday person that wants their skin in the game, they're finally going to be able to get this access through this, this fractionalization, and be able to own a small slice of that. And the exciting thing is, like you're saying, Josh, it's not just AI. AI is probably the biggest problem we're solving, and it's one of the biggest spaces. But this can, expand from everything from, wireless networks to drone networks to all these different segments within RWA and DPIN, and it's just really exciting how big this can actually get. It's
Can you tell
insane.
me what the drones are doing above the East Coast right now?
Yeah, sir. That's an operation we can't really talk about too much right now, but
Alpha in the future.
yeah.
Yeah, just to echo on that front, I think on the
Alpha.
AI front specifically, it's super important because I think there's a lot of fears coming out about what working or what jobs look like in an AI dominated economy. And I think the thing that nobody has really brought up in scale is the fact that what our fractionalization and specifically this use case is to bring more of that equity, right? It's to give people a slice of that pie. It's the potential to get yourself a piece of that AI economy that's going to be driving out, especially as like agents and everything. I know that was popping off across CT and across of other domains. Like there's a lot of agents and infrastructure around that now. And for me, I this is something I would definitely be interested to get a part of, right? But on the front there, you mentioned a little bit about some of the architect of the positions. Would love to find out more about the team background at Pinlink and sort of where everyone comes from and how everyone got here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the hero people on the team, I guess we like to say, is Lucas Orlowski, who's our chief architect. He's been in the space in cloud computing for ages now. I believe that for 10 years. Worked at Intel, won MIT in an MIT award for uh, cloud computing computer that he built, and he's just like an all around gigabrain, I want to say. But he's also best known too for his role as VP of engineering at Engine. So those guys scaled up to a $4 billion market cap. It's just really exciting because we have the people on our team that know how to scale up and have a big vision in mind. We've just hired a few more really reputable devs in the space. I can't make any announcements yet, but we're really excited to bring a few more people into the fold. But overall, our team consists of about 20 people now globally. I'm based in Melbourne, and we have Lucas based in Singapore, and then the rest of the guys kind of scattered around the globe. But we have a team with a massive vision in mind, and Lucas is really a thought leader within cloud computing, and he's building the structure of our marketplace, and really has this big vision in his mind of what this could actually be built out to. And the thing that I love working with him most is that he doesn't want to just launch a product and kind of just generate like this immediate hype and just kind of ship things to ship it. We're looking at things like CSO and ISO compliance, like literally like government grade, enterprise grade uh, levels that could integrate into our platform. Like we really want this to be lasting for years and to be like the solution, for the AI and AI scalability issue, and provide the cheapest compute in the market. That's kind of our vision. And to do this, we need the team to actually be able to have the security measures in place to be able to build this out. There's other projects that are going to build fractionalized marketplaces. No doubt, we already see a few popping up that are kind of seeing that there's hype in this narrative. But what I can tell you is the team that's building this is building the real deal, and we're really excited to have this kind of quality of team on board and kind of the vision here. So
Amazing, amazing, and super excited to see the further developments with Pinlink, on yourselves, but also with Plume as we grow as well and evolve. And I think on that
absolutely.
front, absolutely, in the interest of time, I think really quick, I wanted to go over, what's the latest on the Pinlink platform? When can users get access? Where are you in development? And then what does our partnership look like? And I can sort of extend on it too.
Yeah, so to quickly run through that, we're really excited to launch our Alpha Zero test net that's going to be launching this month, which is going to allow users to play around with the platform, battle test it. I believe we're going to do some bug bounties and things like that, just to see if we can, if there's anything we can do to break it, before it actually launches. We want to just make sure that it's as battle tested and proven as possible. So that's launching this month. We're also just announced that we're launching an AI agent marketplace we're calling Fractal. You can find more details on that as we announce it on X, but we obviously have some big plans on to kind of break into the AI agent space. It's such a big narrative right now, and we obviously don't want to miss out on that. And we believe our platform is perfectly suited for that narrative. And then our main net is something that we're going to be launching in the coming months, and we'll be providing more timelines around that as we kind of go further development after the alpha version 0 testnet is launched. So keep an eye on that for X. And we're also just going to be continuously rolling out partnerships. I'm really honestly bullish. One of our most bullish partnerships is Plume, and we're so excited to be working with you guys. And honestly, I can tell you, everyone online right now, these are some of the most collaborative guys in the space that we've worked with so far. They've really just been incredible in introducing us to partners and providing feedback and stuff like that. And they've just been so cool to work with. Um, Up until now, we've partnered with the likes of EtherFi, Aether, Maple, anyone, and a few other big projects. So we really only want to be working with tier ones, and Plume is definitely on that level with us. So excited to roll all of that stuff out for you guys, and keep an eye on our X account for that. But yeah, let's kind of chat about the potential for Plume here, because there's just there's so much we can do together, and yeah, if you want to kind of lead the that part,
Yeah,
Jason.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's amazing to hear. And then likewise, Pinlink's always been a tier one partner for us as well. And the mission to drive what we call RWA5, right? And when we boil down to it, it's really, we think the cusp of the financialization of everything is here, and we want to be the hub to do all of that. And Pinlink is a very important partner for us when it pertains to the DePIN sector specifically. And going back to what I said before, I think DePIN has a very revolutionary opportunity ahead of it to become this new layer of financial economic opportunity, right? And it's an on-chain native primitive, and it's a game-changing way to also attract mainstream adoption in that sense, where we can create products around DePIN and with Pinlink that make it easier than ever for everyday investors and institutional buyers to get a cut or get a slice or get direct exposure to this, right? No other method or no other vehicle can deliver this kind of experience from a product perspective. And so I think some of the first collaborations we're going to have very closely is through the DePIN or through the Pinlink platform. We're going to open up the initial DePIN yield vaults where we're going to look into specific assets, and maybe you can give some hints on what those assets might be. But we want to be able to have people immediately in the Plume ecosystem get access to these types of yields, and then use that across their network of RWA5 applications, as I mentioned before, including like MetaStreet, including and get involved with Aether and Gaib and all these exciting partners we have coming up, and more to be announced.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think what Plume is providing is an audience, and Pinlink is, we're going to be generating our own audience, doing our marketing and all of that, to tap into the mainstream. But I really think that Plume's going to be a flagship partner in terms of bringing us a user base looking for that yield. At the end of the day, for passive income seekers, what they want to do is they want to generate some of the highest sustainable yield in the market. Plume's providing that, and what Pinlink is doing is we're taking a cut of what we're generating and providing that to Plume, so that we can gain access to Plume's user base. And they're making such a big push to grow this, through enterprise and through the everyday person to come to their platform and gain access to that yield. So we're so excited to use Plume, utilize Plume as a way to, another stream to gain access to all these different people. And to answer your question, we'll be starting out with GPUs and Bitcoin miners to kind of kick things off. We have like Aether Edge devices. We have top of the line NVIDIA GPUs and things like that we'll be hosting on our marketplace, and give Plume users access to those yields. So we're just so excited to kind of be working with you and kicking off the partnership to join that coveted deep in vault that you're talking about.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think final takeaway is, look, what we want to make happen is very simple for users, right? High quality, high yields on chain in perpetuity, right? Not bothered by cycles or anything changing, because these are driven by real demand and they're driven by real value that is being captured through these assets. And we're excited to do with Pinlink, and we're excited to have you guys, when we go live with the vaults eventually, when we go mainnet. So look forward to that, and definitely keep up to date with us here on Twitter, or x.com, as I should say, and also our Discord, and also make sure you follow Pinlink, and keep up to date with what we have cooking.
Yeah, and thanks so much, Josh, for joining us. It's awesome to have you on board and supporting us too. It's been incredible. Thank you so much, Jason, for the call, and happy to be here, really, and happy for maybe future sessions down the line.
Yeah, likewise. Gotta deliver more alpha to the community. So
Yeah,
appreciate everyone for
always.
coming, and
Got to feed the beast.
exactly. Take care, everybody.
Take
Hope
care,
everyone
guys.
has a good one.
Bye.
Thanks so much, everyone.